Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm still here at Seatrade Global, and we're interviewing great cruise executives and learning all about all these new products and ships. And I'm here with David Tanguay, who is the head of global sales for Aurora Expeditions. Now, I haven't been on Aurora, but my partner has been on to Antarctica, so he had a wonderful time. It's an incredible company. We're going to talk to him about what's going on with Aurora, and you're going to find out all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. David, great to see you here. It's been a busy show. Huh?
It's really a pleasure to be here. It's actually my first Seatrade, so it's a great opportunity to be here and meet peers from the industry and yourself. So yes, it's great to be here.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little about Aurora. Now, this is a company that was founded. When did it start, Aurora?
1991. Okay. So we've been in this industry now for over 30 years. Started as a very small polar expedition company with Greg Mortimer, our founder.
He was Australian, right?
Exactly. An alpinist, somebody who very passionate about adventure travel, and it all started with the desire of going to Antarctica. So he went to Antarctica, chartered a boat, and was truly inspired by the destination. And he decided to found Aurora Expeditions. So that's all it started. Yeah.
Back in the 90s. And you got some interesting itineraries. We're going to talk a little bit about it now. So how many ships do you have now?
At the moment, we've got 2 vessels. So we've got the Greg Mortimer that was launched in 2019, and we also have the Sylvia Earle that was launched in 2020.
Who was named after the explorer and the expedition. Right.
Exactly, the marine biologist. Yes,
marine biologist. Yeah, I forget which one Alan Fine, our own Alan Fine, was on, but he had a wonderful time. I had done 3 Antarctic cruises already, and he said, "Well, you could give me one." And so he ended up going, and he had a great time. He's done but you also have some interesting itineraries, right? We know everybody thinks, oh, you're going to go from, and you do this too, but you can go through from Ushuaia or from Punta Arenas. Where do you guys leave from?
Yeah, so we do follow the traditional gateways. So Ushuaia and Punta Arenas are definitely gateways for our expedition. But what's really exciting is at the end of this year, 2025, we have a 3rd ship joining our fleet.
Oh, what's that going to be?
Douglas Mawson, named after our Australian explorer. And obviously there's a lot of history behind the Douglas Mawson exploring the east part of Antarctica.
Which is not your typical one you go, right?
Exactly. And this is an exciting new adventure for Aurora, because now we're giving the opportunity for people to explore this whole, I would say, uncharted territory, because it's not as common for travelers to go in that part of Antarctica, which has a lot of highlights, including the Moss and Hot, that we will give the opportunity for people to visit. Macquarie Islands, which is a very unique place as well in the sub-Antarctic region. So we're very excited.
So there is still opportunity to see all the penguins and seals and everything else. Right?
Absolutely. If you ever go to Antarctica and you don't see penguins, there's a problem.
I actually saw more penguins on the islands around than I have seen actually on most Antarctic cruises that I've been on go to Antarctica Peninsula. I mean, I did it 3 times in 1 year to the point where I think I've been here before.
Right.
And it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong, and I don't go that often, but some of the best penguin views were some of the islands around, right?
Yep, absolutely. And penguins is one type of wildlife you can see, but it's not the only. Obviously, whales, seals, as you've mentioned, but it's also about the landscape. It's about being in such a remote environment as you've been and you've experienced. So going again into the Ross Sea region, where again, it has not been as explored as the peninsula, it's a great opportunity to go into remote locations.
And where does that cruise go from?
So it will depart from Hobart.
I saw you in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. So Correct. We are doing a maiden voyage around Tasmania to start with. That will be the very first voyage of the Douglas Mawson. And then after that, we will be leaving from Hobart, going down to Antarctica through the Ross Sea and coming back to Dunedin in New Zealand. And then we're going to do...
That is an interesting itinerary. Very, very different.
100%, yes.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we all the last few years, especially as expedition cruising has exploded virtually. I mean, in the end, the total tonnage increases compared to we were talking about the MSC World America down the block here. You can fit all of the Antarctic fleets in that the passengers in that across all the ships in your respective fleets. But it's going to be interesting to see if that kind of itinerary is very unique and very different, and I hope that's going to work for you.
100%. We launched it back in April 2024, the East Antarctica, and we've seen incredible results, primarily from North America, which was a beautiful surprise. We did make an assumption that the majority would be from Australia because of the proximity of the gateways, but we've seen a lot of people from North America showing interest as well on joining us on these trips, so that's great to see.
Overall, are you seeing a lot of interest here in the U.S. for those trips? Because I know obviously they now have a lot of choices, but everybody says Aurora is. Where would you place Aurora in the spectrum of? Is it luxury? Is it premium? Or where are you?
That's a great question. First of all, luxury is subjective, right?
It's just luxury seeing penguins. But that's
absolutely, it's the privilege of doing something that many people don't have the opportunity. But for us, where we position ourselves, it's first of all, it's about purpose. It's about small ship. So we do cap the capacity of our vessel to 130 passengers. And our ships are purpose-built, right? All of our ships are Infinity-class purpose-built vessels with an X-bow, and that gives the opportunity for people to have this once-in-a-lifetime experience when they visit the polar regions.
Yeah, and I have used on another line, I had an X-bow. They're wonderful ships. They're really, and they cut through the ice pretty well.
They do, and not just the ice, but also the open water navigation as well. So when you cross the Drake Passage, as an example, or the Ross Sea, it can happen that sometimes you go through what we call the Drake Shake.
The Drake Shake or the Drake Lake or the Drake Shake.
Exactly. And what's beautiful about the X-bow technology is you're just slicing through the waves, right? So to a certain extent, obviously, if the waves are very, very big, it could definitely shake a little bit, but the technology makes the sailing a lot smoother. That's for sure.
And we were able to go right into the Weddell Sea the last time. There was a couple that got married on the ice, which was pretty crazy. But if I recall correctly, you also do the air bridge, right?
We do. Yeah. Absolutely. So we do give the opportunity for passengers who are either short in time or they just don't want to cross the Drake Passage to fly skip the Drake Passage. So we do start from Punta Arenas in Chile and give the opportunity to embark the ship from King George Island.
Yeah, and I've done that once. So I've done 5 passages of the Drake and 1 air. And only once that was it a little rocky, and it wasn't bad.
Exactly. Most people sometimes think it's really risky, but it is not. I mean, the technology of the vessels today is obviously not what it used to be, and with the skill sets of the captains, it's really good.
Yeah. Well, some people feel that to really experience it, you have to do the Drake, because that's part of but it does, it takes about 4 days, 3.5 days, 4 days to go back and forth, right?
It takes about a day and a half to 2 days each way,
right.
And I do agree with you on that, especially on the return. I always say to people going on an expedition, when you cross the Drake on the way down to Antarctica, you really have that sense that you're going somewhere remote.
The anticipation of getting to the Antarctic.
Exactly. But on the return, what's the benefit is you have that time to retrospect on your experience. You have the time to gather your thoughts together, because Antarctica is such a powerful experience. It gives the time for people to take a step back and gather all their thoughts and experience together.
Well, and I the first time I did it, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed back and forth, and ironically, the one time I did the air bridge, there was some issues with weather, and we were waiting around for a long time. It was one of the first times that one of the lines I was taking was doing the air bridge, and we had to come back early, and they just weren't ready for us, and we sat there at King George Island waiting for the plane to come in. So that was interesting. It all worked out fine, but I have no problem with doing the Drake. Now, beyond Antarctica, where do you go?
That's an amazing question, and this is the exciting part about Aurora. Is we started off as a polar expedition specialist, but we have over the years expanded outside of the polar regions. We are now catering expeditions in Patagonia and the Chilean fjords, for example.
It is an incredible place.
Amazing place, giving the opportunity to explore some of these amazing and majestic fjords in the west coast of Chile that you would not have access U.S. without a vessel, right? We also go to Costa Rica, giving the opportunity
That's nice.
to visit Central America. One of our most popular itinerary is visiting Scotland, believe it or not.
Now, that would be a cruise. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. And that's an expedition, right?
That is an expedition, and it actually surprises people. Like most people would think, oh, okay, it's a cruise more than an expedition. No, we actually go from Troon and we explore the North Shetland Islands and the Orkneys Islands, that places that again are very hard to access with unique bird life. And so it's an amazing opportunity for people to still stick in that expedition concept, but visiting other destinations as well.
That would be a marvelous cruise. I've done a little bit of the Orkneys on another cruise that had come from Copenhagen across the top of Scotland and onto Iceland. And it was, I mean, you know, these isolated small Scottish towns. It just is. It's a beautiful cruise too. So.
Absolutely. I haven't done it myself, to be fully honest, but I have a lot of colleagues who've done it, and they absolutely loved it. It's one of those destinations, again, like you said, the unique history, the culture in these remote locations, and again, it is one of our most popular. Yeah. There's another destination that we also launched back in September last year, so 2024, and it's Indonesia.
Now that's exotic. Yeah.
That is exotic, and I'm super excited about that because we are going to a very remote location in the Indonesian archipelago. So Raja Ampat, which is a region known for its marine wildlife. Again, giving the opportunity to visit some of the local culture as well, and giving back to the community by involving them in the journey with our passengers as well. We also have an itinerary that leaves from Raja Ampat and all the way to Singapore through Borneo as well.
And Borneo is one of the most ecologically diverse places in the world, and I've done a little bit of it, but not enough.
Yeah, and this is something that we're all very excited, and we've seen it with the sales results. As soon as we launched it, we had to add one more departure for Borneo because it was so popular.
Yeah. Now, do you do the Arctic at all?
We do the Arctic, yes. So the Arctic season starts from June all the way to September, and we do visit the traditional destinations such
Greenland,
as Svalbard,
Iceland,
Greenland.
Svalbard I've been to. Yeah.
Svalbard, amazing destinations for those who love especially wildlife. But for me, my number one destination is definitely Greenland. Greenland is
incredibly scenic. I've been there. Yeah.
Yes, and every part of Greenland is so different, and that's the beauty of Greenland. Is you go on the west coast of Greenland where you have the massive glaciers and some of the communities, but then you go on the northeastern side where you can find the largest national park in the world and the largest fjord system in the world as well, which encompasses a little bit of wildlife and incredible scenery and geology and history. So it's one of those places that I recommend everybody to visit one day.
Well, it sounds like for 2 ships, soon to be 3, you go a lot of places in the world, right?
Yep, absolutely, and that is the intent. We see that once passengers travel with Aura Expeditions, they love traveling with us. We have this amazing opportunity to give our travelers the opportunity to be led by experts and have that informal connection and bond between the passengers, and they come back and we see it. And being only polar gave us the limitation of once they would visit the polar, they would not be able to come back. And now that we're going to other destinations, it gives them the opportunity to continue traveling with us.
Well, I mean, for whatever reason, Antarctic and Arctic have become known as expedition cruises, but there's expedition opportunities throughout the world. Right?
Absolutely. Expedition is not polar. Expedition is immersive. I always say, for me, expedition is purpose. It's purpose-driven. So now we have a purpose-built fleet with Infinity-class vessels. We have expedition team members who are providing education and enrichment programs, which provides the purpose of raising awareness. And we also now have departures and voyages that are catering to specific people who have purposes when they visit these destinations. And I'll give you one quick example. 2 months ago, we launched the very first women-only expedition in Antarctica.
I read about that. That was amazing.
Yeah, so we're very proud of that. And this is a voyage that will be operating in February 2027. And the concept is created by women, led by women, for women. And it gives the opportunity for women to network together, to be empowered, to explore together, and to create this positive impact in the women community.
Yeah, well, I'm not invited, I guess, right?
No, neither am I.
you know, that would be amazing, that cruise. But anyway, now, what is life like on board? The accommodations, the dining, and everything else with Aurora. What is, you know, I always tell people this is a wonderful cruise for everything. You're going to be well taken care of, and I assume the same is on Aurora.
Absolutely. It's an expedition without compromises, as I always say. The ships, as I've mentioned, are fairly new. The Greg Mortimer was launched in 2019, Sylvia Earle in 2022, and the Douglas Mawson coming into our fleet. Beautiful stateroom cabins with private balconies. The food is spectacular. We've got 2 restaurants on board the Sylvia Earle and the Douglas Mawson and the Greg Mortimer, offering diversity in the culinary experience. We've got public spaces for our expedition team member to provide educational program. And then, of course, we've got amazing space for our passengers to walk around, and especially if there's wildlife activity or beautiful scenery, they can easily access and take amazing pictures and photography.
And so you're not roughing it, unless of course you're on the Drake and it goes a little quake. But in general, you're well taken care of, and of course you got these fabulous expedition team members that are, you know, kind of your camp counselors and teachers and professors and instructors, and they're so enthusiastic about what they do, and that you get that energy when you go on board your cruises is just amazing.
Yeah, and you know, an expedition, it's not only about the destination. I mean, of course, Antarctica or the Arctic or Indonesia are fascinating destinations, but it's about the journey. It's about traveling in a small ship together with people from all around the world, you know, and sharing this very powerful experience. And it's funny, like at the start of the expedition, obviously not everybody know each other, but I would say by the 3rd day of the expedition, everybody almost know each other, and it becomes a big family.
Absolutely.
And having that powerful experience, that's what creates a positive impact, and that's expedition.
Now, how do you work with travel advisors, who are our viewers, 128,000 of them?
Yeah.
What would you suggest how they best work with you, too?
Yeah, I think first of all, we highly recommend to understand our brand and our positioning. You know, we are a brand that fully supports the trade community, and we have amazing tools at their disposal to help them understand our itineraries, our trips, our brands. We also have an amazing sales team on the road, always available to provide any content or any training material to help them promote these amazing expeditions to their clients. But overall, we love travel advisors, and we want them to experience Aurora Expedition.
Fantastic. And where can travel advisors go to get more information about Aurora Expeditions?
On the website. So we do have an agent portal where they can find all that information.
It's on the main website?
Exactly. And we also have a co-branding tool, which we partner with Approach Guides, a great organization allowing travel advisors to co-brand our pre-designed newsletters, as I like to call them, so they can put their logo, they can put their call to action, and they can promote whichever trip they want to promote with Aurora to their own channels. And that's an amazing tool for travel advisors to help them generate some leads.
I do know the folks at Approach Guides. They're actually walking around here today, and they've done an amazing job with a lot of companies, and thankfully with yours as well.
Yes.
So anything else you'd like to tell travel advisors before we end this?
I just want to be very grateful of their support. First of all, travel advisors are experts, and obviously we're very grateful of their support, and we're very excited to grow in North America and to provide these once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
And you got the new ship coming up, and it's going to be fantastic. David, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about Aurora. I know the brand. We have sailed her. I have not personally, but it sounds like an incredible option to not just Antarctica and the Arctic, but all these other incredible places, Indonesia, Scotland. I mean, I didn't realize you were doing Scotland, and I didn't know Borneo and Indonesia has got to be a great cruise as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.